What if I told you that memories don't always die from the body? That some people carry them into their next life? It sounds like something out of a movie, but this actually happened to a family in Louisiana. It was the year 2000. Bruce and Andrea were sleeping, and their 2-year-old son James was sleeping in the other room. Suddenly, James' parents heard a scream. "Plane on fire! Little man can't get out!" They rushed to his room. James was still shouting in his sleep. "Plane on fire! Little man can't get out!" His parents woke him up and realized he was having a bad dream. But the dreams kept coming, night after night. Finally, James' parents asked him what the dreams were about. He said, "I keep dreaming of my past life." They asked, "Tell us more about those dreams." James looked serious and said, "I flew a plane. It was a Corsair. It flew off a boat called Natoma, and it got shot down over Iwo Jima." When Bruce asked who he flew with, he said, "My friend, Jack Larson." Then they asked, "Who were you in the dream, buddy?" He said, James Huston." Days went by, and his parents started noticing James reenacting the scenes with his toys. He would make engine sounds, then suddenly nosedive it into the floor and say, "Plane on fire." He'd slam it down and cover his face, whispering, "Little man can't get out." He did it over and over, always the same way. It wasn't normal kid play, just the dive, the fire, and getting stuck. When Bruce asked why the plane crashed, James pointed at the toy and said, "They shot it over there," pointing towards the ocean. Months went by. Bruce and Andrea decided to test what James was saying without telling him where they were going. They took James to the National Naval Aviation Museum. As soon as they walked inside, James pointed at a plane and said, "That's my plane." It was a Corsair. He walked up to it and started naming parts. That was the bomb released, and those are the fuel tanks. Then he looked at a wall of pilot photos. He stopped, pointed at one, and said, "That's my friend." After the museum visit, Bruce couldn't ignore what he had seen. James wasn't guessing. He knew things about the Corsair that most adults didn't know, so Bruce started researching. He found out the USS Natoma Bay was real. It was a US Navy escort carrier that fought in the Pacific. He also found out that the F-4U Corsair was real too. It was a fighter plane used by the Navy in World War II. And he also found out about James M. Huston Jr. On March 3rd, 1945, Huston's plane was hit by an anti-craft fire over Chichijima. It went into a dive and crashed into the harbor. He never made it out. When James was 4, Bruce and Andrea arranged a phone call between him and Huston's sister, Annie Baron. During the call, James described a painting of Annie as a child. It was a private family painting that had never been published anywhere. Annie listened, then said, "That's right, that's the painting." When James was 6, Bruce arranged for him to meet Jack Larson in person. Larson was Huston's wingman, the last person to see him alive. James looked at the old pilot and began talking. He described details of the last mission, how the plane was hit, how it went down, what they were doing that day. Larson listened quietly. Then he said, "He's right. That's exactly how it happened. None of those details were in any book or any public records. James also had a birthmark on his chest, in roughly the same spot where Huston was hit when his plane went down.